Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a rainy day here in our not so productive republic. Welcome back to Workers and Resources. It's episode 8, and I gotta say, I'm feeling like the weather. Rainy. I got doubts. I'm not sure we're gonna be as successful as I'd like to be here. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say it's July 1964, but turns out it's August now. While I've been talking. And, well, look, we got major debts, all right? If I just go into my money really quick here. We got major debts. It's $736,000. We're paying $12,000 every 30 days in interest. Something's got to give here. So I've done a couple of things, all right? I've made it to where... I want that done too, actually. I've made it to where I've wiped the board, all right? All the construction projects for all construction offices have been wiped, all right? And then I went in and selected jobs manually for everyone to do so that they could focus on the jobs that I wanted them to do, okay? We're going to do a couple of other things as well, all right? Once the steel is gone over here, and I guess the brick as well, and maybe the boards, once this stuff is gone, I'm going to move these trucks over to these other construction offices. In fact, I'm going to do that with this one right now. I'd like to talk about a couple of things. First, let's talk about repairs, because that's going to be a big problem pretty quickly here. I got lots of regrets. I got some regrets. We're going to talk about those today too. Okay. Right now, repairs is going to be a problem. It's not quite there yet, but it's about to be. I've pulled these two buses off of the construction office near the border, and because their wear and tear is getting up and they keep breaking down. That's not normally a big deal for most vehicles when they break down, because they'll just keep going. So if I had a dump truck or something that keeps breaking down, it'll start back up and do its job, do its delivery, and that's fine. But with buses, this is a little bit different, because this is the only vehicle in the whole set of vehicles which has a payload with a timer on it. These guys are getting tourists from the border, and those tourists, I pay for them at the border, and then they have a timer, and they need to get to their destination. So if these things are breaking down after they got the tourists, that's directly affecting my budget. So when these things start breaking down, I'm going to pull them off the line. If that means I got to buy new buses, so be it. But we can still get these things repaired eventually, and then they put them in service, okay? So it's not the end of the world. It's just more money now. Speaking of more money now, I want to go ahead to the border really quick and see about... I want to show you the other update I did. So we've got these mixers, right? We've had 4 mixer trucks. We now have 8. So this construction office is up here. We have 8 mixers now, all bringing concrete to various places that need it, all right? Which is over here. These guys have been going the long way, all right? These buses have been traveling all around here. And I originally made this little thing here as a shortcut. Well, like, okay, so I saved them from going here in that way. Okay, big shortcut, bro. No, it's not. What I should have done is this. And I just had this aha moment like an hour ago while these guys were building stuff. And they started building the coal mine, which is great. And then, of course, I wiped the jobs. But they'll get back up here because it's a high priority job. Yeah, they'll get back up here. So what I'd like to do is this. I need to go and take this road. I'm going to bring this road all the way down here. This is a shortcut, especially since the workers are going to be focusing heavily on getting my coal system set up more than anything. They're going to be trying to get coal set up for me right now. And so definitely need a thorough, well done shortcut here. And that's what we're going to get right here. So just hold my mouse. Don't move it. Just let this thing flatten out. I know it's green, but I still want it to go flatter. There we go. Okay. That's a shortcut from there, and then from here over to here. That is a proper shortcut, okay? That's how you do a shortcut. But it gets better because dump trucks are about to have nothing to do because they've been working hard, and dump trucks are always the thing that sits around and does nothing, which is obviously not the way it's supposed to be. But if I'm not doing roads, then that's what's happening. So without asphalt, that's what they're doing. So I think this whole thing is one project now. We're going to say that we want to do this whole thing as a gravel road. Then I'm going to shift this to a high priority and tell them to do it. Now, when they get this done, they have a much better shortcut into this area, but also a much better shortcut into the coal that they're going to be working with. And that's what I really need. I need a shortcut into this coal that they're working with, all the way up to the coal mine itself, right? And that's great. Because later on, when we get people, which is unfortunately going to be 1965, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I have to delay this by at least a year because we simply are too far from the border. That's my biggest regret. If I had to go back and do this again, and I highly recommend anyone who's playing this game, don't start so far away from the border, okay? This was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. My town is way over there. No, that should have been my second town. First town should have been right here, okay? The reason I did this initially was, one, because I thought it didn't matter as much and I thought I could pull it off. But the other reason was because this is where the gravel was. It's way over here, right? Because, like, this is kind of inaccessible, sort of. I guess I could have really spent a lot more time flattening this and cheesing the road tool in the beginning. But the gravel was here, and that's what I wanted to focus. There was no gravel to work anywhere here. So I decided, okay, well, this is my only 3, major large posts, and this is where my gravel is. So near my gravel is where I want my construction offices. Okay, well, this is where I want my town. Since I'm already this far, I might as well go, right? Probably not the best idea. Should have made the construction offices over here like I wanted, but had my first town be here. It needed to be closer. I really, really wish I would have done it closer. It is what it is. We're gonna hopefully make it work. Hopefully we don't get into super big debt. I have also, on that note, I have also canceled all imports of resources. So my resources are no longer being imported. All right, that is the reason why my money's not dropping right now, is because I'm not importing things. So I actually will probably be profitable this month. And that's the other thing I wanted to see, is if I just start dipping in, because I have been just hoarding steel, hoarding bricks, okay? These guys have been just bringing it in indiscriminately with no regard whatsoever for whether we need it or not. I've just told them initially to just fill these suckers up, and that's what they've been trying to do. And so I've got over 500 tons of steel just sitting here, all right? 531 tons of bricks just sitting here. So let's use these abundance of resources. The main reason I'm in so much debt is because I've brought in all these materials. Let's use these materials that we already have, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. Now, I think to make these happen, we have a lot of vehicles heading up there. That's great. Look at it. They're all going into to get the road done. That's fantastic. We're actually going to run out of gravel probably too. 917. Okay, so those trucks have been hauling it too, but they are done hauling gravel now. They're pretty much done doing that now because their wear and tear is getting up there. So we're going to run out of gravel soon too. Hence the need to get people here so we can work this. All right, I've made my peace with this. I'm letting time run too far. Let's focus on this for a second. Repairs are not happening. This is because we don't have these materials. I can't get these materials delivered here directly. I've tried. I've made distribution office try this. They won't do it. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to do something like this instead. We're going to take away this road. Okay, pause this really quick. And we are going to put in one of these little warehouses right here. All right, right about like this should be fine. This little warehouse, all right, then reconnect the road to the roundabout and go like this. Now we're gonna get these two things done first, okay? If we can get these things done, my distribution office can bring the resources that this thing needs directly to this warehouse, and then we should start seeing repairs get done, all right? At least in office. To get the repairs to remote vehicles, like the buses that are sitting over here waiting for repairs, we need vehicles here, covered hulls specifically. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna buy a covered hull for this. I'm gonna buy 2 of them actually. And then I think I'm actually gonna go, actually, you know what, let's see the used market. Are there any covered hulls to be purchased? There are no covered hulls here. How about over here? Is there any covered hulls here? Probably pretty much the same, aren't they? I mean, I think these are all the same. I would like to think that they're different. I thought that's what the way this was going to be. It doesn't look that way. These are all the same, unfortunately. How much was that fire truck? 13 where? 13%. 1 year old. Interesting. I'm gonna buy that. I don't really want 67% though, but the other one was that was no problem there. We're not going to worry about prisons. We're not going to worry about police or court or anything like that. It's not super essential to me right now. It's just not. We don't want anything with high wear. So, maybe buses here. 5% wear on a new bus. We're going to use it. We'll have that too. Also, I wanted to show you this. Look, the EDK 300. Obviously, we bought this a long time ago. It's been sitting in here. I noticed that the brand new vehicle price is like $105,000. Remember, we bought this for $35,000, right? We bought that thing, that track builder. I was like, I'm going to buy it in advance. Why am I buying it in advance? Well, I'm buying it in advance because by the time we want to build it, look at this. It's 104 grand now. The later you wait to buy this thing, it's way more expensive, all right? So buy it early if you can. Buy 2 of them. Buy 2 of them. In any case, I need to go over to the ladder, and I want you to come all the way over to the fire department and station yourself there. And then I want this bus to come over and station yourself. Yeah, I don't really want... Yeah, all right. Station yourself there. That's a new bus that's going to get workers for this construction office. Because this is the one that I took the buses out of because they're, wearing down. So I took them out of there. But this one's 6%, so no big deal. Okay, then we have these 4 buses here. I bought these 4 microbuses. What are these guys going to do? Well, these 4 microbuses are responsible, eventually, they are going to be responsible for bringing foreign labor from the border, probably Mulka, and bringing them over to right here. And so that we can start getting repairs done before we bring in regular people, right? I don't have to pay for the food and all that stuff for foreign labor. So we're going to have the microbuses doing that. And, man, I really hope they get on this. Like, this needs to be done ASAP. Yeah, excavator's on its way. I wish it was the bulldozer. Bulldozers, I feel like the bulldozers are faster. I might be wrong on that, but I always felt like they were faster. Look at them laying in the gravel. It's wonderful. And now the excavator gets to work making this a gravel road. It's a thing of beauty, folks. We're going to need that done too, but we're just going to add that up. Okay, another thing. So we got the repairs going. That's good. The next thing I wanted to look at is this whole setup, right? We have to have coal working as a whole setup. And I also need the coal system sort of tied into concrete, which is going to be produced right here. Okay, I got a plan for that. We'll look at that later. So for coal processing, we're eventually going to have 2 of these power plants. We have plus the heater, plus we're going to be using coal for bricks. Okay, so these 4 buildings here are going to be using lots of coal. I don't know about the incinerator. This just burns, right? It doesn't need any coal. Yeah, it's using the trash as that. All right, so we're not going to need that. We may need an incinerator for waste. In fact, waste is another thing I want to look at. So dump. We need a couple of dumps. And we're going to take the free dumps over here. Where is here? We need the dumps over here. So free dump we're going to use right next to my preliminary demolition office, okay? And we're actually going to use 2 of these. I'm going to put this right up against here like that. Flip it over and put another one right against this like that. This is going to be for construction waste. This is going to be for metal scrap, let's say, okay? These guys will most likely have to deal with that, all right? Now, they can use dynamite, right? They can use dynamite, explosives, whatever, from this warehouse, which we are now delivering chemicals to, by the way. The office over there with the closed hull or covered hull is dropping chemicals off here. And then we're going to have a dedicated truck, which I don't have yet, I don't think. I don't remember if I did that or not. A dedicated truck that's going to come over here and drop off the chemicals in here. So that's what I need to buy now. So we're going to say that this road depot here, let's kill this. I don't want that here. And then we're going to buy another covered hull. You need the biggest one you got. This one's fine. Let's get in a good color. I like green. Green's good. We're going to buy a big expensive one with the maximum... Oh, we're running out of oil, man. I don't like how we're running out of oil. 81. We're just not pumping it fast enough. I need one more pump jack. That one over there. I need to hook that up and somehow bring it all the way over here, which is not going to happen. Anyway, we're going to have, from the chemical supply that's getting brought to this warehouse, one of these covered holes that I just bought. Here we go. Your job is to go in here, grab chemicals. Okay. Wait until loaded. You really shouldn't wait till loaded. Just load chemicals. And then you're going to come over here, and you're going to drop off those chemicals. You're going to wait till unloaded at this location here. And that's your route. All right? So this truck is going to take care of that for us. And that's going to make sure that chemicals are ready and available for water processing once water processing begins. All right? So there, taking care of that problem. As far as the other problems go, let's start with our coal system, and then we're going to go after the dumps. Although the dumps might be needed for demolitions. I haven't had a fire yet, which is insane. It's nuts that there's no fires yet. It's like I don't believe it. I'm in disbelief that there isn't a fire yet. So I have to believe that a fire is going to show up any minute now, and when it does, we will have to dispose of it with this demolitions office. And so I am trying to prepare for that inevitable fact, because it has to happen soon. So we're going to say that the construction waste is going to be from here, and the metal scrap is going to be here, and then that way construction waste and metal scrap will be located there. All right. The other thing that this office needs is a place to put hazardous waste. That's going to the border. We're not going to do anything with hazardous waste for now. So that's going to the border for now. And we'll have to pay. It's 1,000 rubles per ton, I think is about what it is, to dispose of hazardous waste. So let's hope that nothing hazardous catches on fire, okay? At least until we're ready. And that's another reason why this power plant is not built yet. Because if I build it, it can catch fire. I really shouldn't have had this built. I'm really hoping that doesn't catch fire. But if I build this, it can catch fire. And then I'm probably just GG at that point, because I just simply don't have the money to rebuild it. So let's cross our fingers and hope that doesn't happen. We're going to need another dump. Let's do the dump really quick and then the coal. So I want to put in not one of those free temporary dumps. We're going to put in a premium temporary dump. It's still temporary, but we're going to use the claw machine one. So we have these normal ones that are big like this. They have factory connections. They're easy to dump to, but takes forever to load. Okay. If you want to load it back up, and you know you want to load it back up, you're going to want the ones with the claw machine. And so I'm going to take one here, flip it over, and have another one probably right about, let's say, here. All right. So 2 of these are going to be here, and I'll just have that connected like so. And then we're going to build, let's build this one. It's fine. So this one will just take a hike for a second. All right. So add that to the queue. Make it high priority too. When that's the case, when that's done, you will take your mixed waste to that dump over there. Right. And eventually we're going to have the incinerator. We're going to have a sorting. We're going to be able to sort our trash. I might do that over here. I haven't decided yet. It needs to be someplace where workers can get to. So, but trash sorting and like really the whole idea of burning in the incinerator and stuff, it's all very pollution heavy. So it needs to be very far away from civilization. And that's why I was thinking of maybe just doing it over here. There is also research later on to make trash burning generate power. So when that happens, I'll also want it to be accessible by our power grid. And this is where the power grid is being established. So that's another reason why we're doing it that way. Okay. Oh, man. This gravel road's going to be sweet. I should have done this a long time ago. Most of the gravel is already delivered, too. We're getting there. I'm kind of thinking maybe what I do here is this working? Like, yeah, the work days are happening here. So I'm thinking what I might do here is cancel all construction projects here and focus you entirely on this road. So this is the only project that this is doing right now. It's just focusing this road down. These vehicles, I'm going to let them go, even though they're really high and they might break down, only because the travel distance is really short at the moment. So they can just drop them off right here. We get a lot of foreign workers on site, very, very close by. And then that will hopefully get done very quickly. All right. How's my... I mean, it's Slowly but surely, right? We're getting there. There was no covered hulls at the border, so we're going to have to buy a couple here. So I'm going to say covered hull. Let's go with, I mean, the T-138s are fine, right? Kind of doing everything with the 138s anyway, so why don't we get two... Let's do 2 of these here, and we'll do 1 more over here, I guess. Oh, I can't do 1 more over here. Really? That's interesting. I'm eventually going to make this one my road one, I think. So why don't I move the paver here? And that gives me room for the covered hull to be over here. Just because. All right, so now we have covered hulls here, and that hopefully will allow us to get what we need to go. Now, what's the sources for this? You're getting it from the customs house. You don't want to do that. So that's another thing I've been messing up on, is I'm not getting the supply from the right location with these guys. So let's fix that. Thankfully, they didn't have very many covered hulls at the time, so they haven't been really doing it much. But they should be getting it from here. This is the place where that should be. And then this is bringing the restock over there from there, so from the border. Yeah, okay, so I think we're solid. Question mark. My money's not dropping, all right? Notice my budget, right? We only lost 4,000 last month. And the only reason we're down 26 or so this month is because I purchased vehicles. When I stop buying steel and stop buying all these components, like this right here is now done. So I want you to now get your steel. You know what? I'm just going to move you. Yeah, move you to here. Just get all those guys moved over there. And then we can take this open storage down. We don't need it anymore. Clear this out. And see, these dump trucks are still coming to here, which is fine because I can't really support all of them here. I'm down. I just lost 200 gravel since I've been talking. So, okay. Coal, right? Let's talk about it. We have these 2 processing plants. This is adequate for what we're going to be working with. However, once everything is operational, if it starts running at full capacity, I think we're going to want to process more coal than this because they can't process much as fast as I'd like. So we're going to need, eventually, we're going to need more. So let's go in and assume for a moment that that we're going to have another one. And let's assume that other one is going to be right about here. Okay. And then we'll flip it over, and then this one can be right on top of it, the same angle, about like this. Let's assume for a moment that this is what's going to happen, okay? In that situation, how is my coal ore getting fed to this, all right? Because it's obviously coming from here. So if it comes from here, where else does it go from there? Well, we need a storage, obviously. So let's go in and do this. Now, I've been debating on which storage to use. It's kind of a toss-up. Part of me thinks that it's a really good idea for me to have huge storage here with a ton of capacity. So part of me likes the idea of doing this because I can have 2 that drives the belts directly out with a huge storage. But then I have these 2. I'll just have an elevator that goes and takes them over to that side. I could have all 4 of these hooked up, though. Not with that, but if I centered this, I could have all 4 of these hooked up where it needs to be. It wouldn't be to that, it'd be to this like that. But regardless, I don't think we're going to need this much coal ore. I just don't see that being necessary. I think 1950 is enough. And this is significantly less concrete. It's a little bit more steel. Admittedly, it's a little bit more steel than the one that's very similarly sized. But it's a lot less concrete, all right? A lot less asphalt, too. So I'm going to go with this one because it's light on all the other resources and a little heavier on the steel. And that's okay. I have steel, all right? Steel's more valuable, of course, but concrete also means a lot of mileage. See people breaking down over there? A lot of mileage coming down this way and a lot of trips to the border. And we're not making our own concrete yet, so we're not making our own steel yet either, but I just don't think I need this much storage. What I would like to have, though, what I would have rather had, though, is have that big one, this 2500 one. I would have loved to have that here. Made that mistake, too. I wish I had that changed, but it is what it is. Regardless, we're going to put this right over like this. How long can I make this? Oh, that's beautiful. Can I not have an engine? I would love to not have a conveyor engine. Oh, will you let me do this? Yes, you will. Oh, happy days. I would love not to have another engine. All right, perfect. That's going to take care of that connection there, okay? And then if I want to do an engine from here, then I grab it from here and I just go like that. So that's one extra engine, and it hooks up like that. All right, so that's going to end up being our coal situation if we need it, all right? Now, this is a lot of steel, and you know what? I'm kind of thinking... if I make an engine, if I use an engines here, then I could have this be significantly... Yeah, it's probably better because it's less steel this way. These engines are fixed, but the longer you make the conveyors, then the more steel you use, right? I think it's probably better to do this, to use the engines instead of... where is it? It's aggregate, right? There it is. I think it's probably better to do it this way. So I can make this a lot shorter. These conveyors won't take as much resources. If I can just get it to cooperate here. Come on. Right there. Won't take as many resources there. And then after I make this engine happen, these two conveyor belts are significantly less. At least the one is. A lot less resources. And then the only difference is I need an engine here now. And one belt ends up being a lot longer instead of two belts. And actually... 3 belts being a lot longer. So I think ultimately this is where I'm going to be with this. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Okay. So you're going to go down that way. Good. You're going to go this way. You're going to go this way. Fantastic. And we are going to say we do not want to build everything here. None of this stuff is getting built. Neither is this. All right. So we're going to start with just one processing plant. All right. That's it. Just one. And then, of course, I want all of this stuff added to the schedule for everybody. Let's make sure all this is on your schedule, please. Whew. Okay. So that's the coal setup. All right. I think it's going to be all right. I think for power, we do need some power over here, though. We're going to have power come in, and it's just going to be this little tiny one that comes in right like this, I think. Yeah, right there is fine. That's going to power the engine. It powers all of this stuff, and it's just going to take care of us, okay? As far as where the power is coming from, well, there's only one connection point here left. So I think that's going to be it. We're going to take a... I'm not sure how much power it'll take, so we're just going to run a 235 out and all the way to here. And then we just... I think I'll actually go all the way to the road here like this. And then we'll go straight up and connect to that. All right. So that is that. Okay. A profound statement. I know. That is that. And now it's just a matter of everybody getting out here and delivering all the steel. We have lots of it. Lots of steel to deliver. So let's get it done. 34 tons there, 50 tons there. I mean, we're going to have to buy more. Don't get me wrong. We're going to have to buy more steel in order to complete this project. There's no way around that. And we have to borrow more money too because we are now in penalty territory. At least we're about to be in penalty territory. So let's roll this loan. We'll roll it to, I think, 850. I think this gives us a little bit of a leeway here. We'll roll it to 850. So we'll get rid of 717, 375. Return the money. Okay, so we now have 132 grand left. And our interest payments are now, or our standard payment is now just under 14 rubles, 14k rubles per month. Okay. Wonderful story. Let's take a look really quick. We, like I said, I've wiped all the projects, so I know I need this done. So let's at least get those going. And this sewage tank needs done too, because this is where the hospital sewage is. I also would like to configure more for the water as well. So I've had these 2 pumping stations built out here. Okay, there's these 2 pumping stations that were built, and they've been marked for a while. But the reason for them is there's 2 different reasons for them. All right. Now, there's currently only one pipe that's been planned. This is coming directly from the well to here. This is going to provide the industry with their water that they need, and it comes in to this pump at 95%, which is where what the well is. the water quality in the well will drop a little bit over time, but as long as we keep pollution away from it, it should be fine. So in other words, it's going to be adequate for the food production that we need and all that stuff. Then we're going to have the cleaned water. This is coming in at 100% or 99%, right? And that's going to be here, coming in this pump. And this is meant for these substations. So we have a whole bunch of stuff we have to provide water to, including that these guys over here. And so I think I want to bias it this way. Yeah, I think I want to bring it over here. It would be really nice to have it on this side. Oh, man. Can I have this right here? Oh, man. It's just out of reach to be on this side. Oh, it'll work right there. I'm in. I need to be able to cover... Yep, all these buildings. I won't get that one, but this one's going to get covered by a different water source anyway. Because we're going to have another water source over here. I'm going to nest it in like right over here, I think. And then we also need all of these things to have water too. So I'm kind of looking at where that water can go, because there's still water to road over here. Let's focus on coal and, well, yeah, I mean, we have to send water up here too. Oh my God. That's going to be a water truck, I guess. We're going to have a water truck and a tower. I mean, that's going to have to be a thing. A truck and a tower? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This is going to be wild. I don't know if this is going to work for me. We're going to put this water tower right here. And we're going to set the walking path to be here. Now, speaking of walking paths, okay? There are new walking paths in the game. They updated the game between last video and this one, and in the public beta, and there's new walking paths now. We have the regular footpath. This is 110% walking speed, so add 10%. So the standard walking speed, the standard walking distance is 300 meters. 110% means 330 meters. Okay, on average, right there. That's how that math works, I think. However, I have been in the stream series. You saw that I was using these roads. Everything was connected to roads in the stream series. All the residential buildings and everything were all connected with roads, not necessarily always with footpaths. And that was because this asphalt road with streetlights was 115% on the walk speed. Okay, well, you know what? These new walking paths are superior to that, because the asphalt footpath gets you to 120%, and the asphalt footpaths with lamps gets you to 130%. Very good. So we're going to be all right. Now, the one thing I never quite understood about the walking speed and the walking distance and things is, like, I would regularly get people walking 400 meters, which is why I've normally been spacing things out on a basis of 400 meters. But it said on the wiki that it's 300 meters, so I don't know if that's been changed or what's going on with it. But either way, 123% is simply better than 115. So we're going to run with these on situations where we need them to go as far as possible. And one of those situations would be to this tunnel, probably, to get over here, I assume. But really anywhere when we want them to go and we need them to go a really far distance. So for this house right here, I am going to change the walking path on this house, and I'm going to change it to be an asphalt walking path. All right. And what I want to do with this asphalt walking path is crossing into the hospital, but also I would like, and I'm going to have to redo this, so I need a deconstruction office for this too, unfortunately, but I would like, I think, to get a walking path from here, yep, and to go right behind this hospital with this asphalt path. All right. And if we can get that, then these guys can walk to the fire station. Because at the moment, I don't know if these guys can actually get there. I thought it was going to end up being just people in this house, which I was comfortable with at the time because I could just delegate that house to the fire station. But if I can get more people to walk there, that would be cool. So we're going to try out the asphalt walking paths with this new update, and we're going to try them out right here and just see if that makes any big difference. Okay? There you go. See if that allows them to go anywhere that they wouldn't have been able to go before. And we may need to use that over here too with concrete as well, because concrete's going to be a complicated thing, right? So let's actually talk about concrete for a second. So concrete, right? And I've been kind of going back and forth at like how much do I want to plan ahead of time and then show you afterwards what I did, and how much do I want to plan on the fly. And I have a general idea in my head for this one, so we're going to plan it on the fly. But generally, I think I want to practice a little bit with the spacing on things offline, you know, just to kind of see how the build can go. And then I'll revert the save and, you know, start the episode fresh with ideas in my head that I've already put in place, right? Generally, I think that's what I'm going to try to do. But today, whatever, I'm just going to wing it because my daughter's finally asleep. She's going through sleep regression right now. It's a bitch. 9 months old, man. She's just like, all of a sudden, she doesn't want to sleep. Her brain's going through all these changes in the world, right? Okay, so concrete plant, cement plant. There are 2 cement plants now. Here's the one we know and love. This is the one we've always had. And then there's the new one, the big one, and it's even ridiculous monstrosity. It does about 30% more production at about 30% more people and resources, etc. And it looks like it takes up about, I don't know, twice the space, really. It's... Nope, that's just the concrete plant. This one, yeah. It's going to take about double the space, really. But in any case, what I think I want to do is set this up right here. We're going to put this, I think, right about here. However, we need to make sure that that's actually going to flow and work really well. So what I wanted to do, and I don't think I can do it anymore because I kind of misplayed this a little bit. If I move this, I would be okay. And actually, I think I will move this because we haven't started building that yet. That was a gravel. Yeah, that's actually going to mess up my flow. That was a gravel reprocessing plant or whatever it's called. It's in the waste category. It's right here, gravel recycling plant. We take the construction waste and a little bit of power and we turn it into gravel, right? That's what this plant is. And we could totally do that with, you know, back here and stuff too. So if we have one of these on construction waste, for example, I'd be able to process this. But I think I'd rather put this over here instead. And then if I, in so doing, of making this like, you know, able to feed this essentially. So I haven't really decided where this is going, but I'm pretty sure it needs to be in a place where I can just process it and send it back into the gravel, right? So it would be like this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out where this is going to go, but I need that gravel from this to feed here. Okay, and this is it's a pretty big thing, but I was thinking like maybe this right here would be good. This might be working. Yeah, if we went something like this, I think this is okay. Assuming I do that. Oh, I won't let me place it. Okay. No problem, I think. We'll just go... No, this gets in the way of the helicopter. So I'd have to put it over here. There's no other way around it. I have to put it over here. Or, you know, maybe here. This might be okay. I'll figure it out later. The point is, I want to be able to process construction waste and put it into this big container here, right? But for this, for concrete, right, I want to take and have a separate source. I want to have a separate source for the storage of everything. And I was thinking if we put in like a small aggregate storage or something that maybe doesn't take so much steel. So like a small one here, 1,000. Yeah, this is probably fine. We could take this one and it would hopefully feed. Oh, we don't have that. Oh, it doesn't come off like I thought it did. Yeah, this is an input. All right, well, we're still gonna need to do it this way then. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna place this right here. I think actually, let's line up. See that outward arrow that's like touching noses with the other one right now, right? That one. I want that to line up right alongside this. So we're gonna say it's right about here. Should be fine. Yeah. So this hooks to that. All right. So assuming that, we should now be able to get a conveyor engine back this way. Yeah, very good. All the way back here. Perfect. So now I have a little bit of leeway and flexibility in placing this. Now, if I'm going to place this, do I want it to be lifted? There's no reason to lift it up. If I flip the road over like this, I can probably get this road to connect on this road here if I redo the road. How's my power lines? Power lines are good, actually. I can redo that. So we're going to say and put this, let's do it about probably here. About like this, maybe. assuming this road, I am pretty certain this will go, right? Yeah, like that. All right, so we'll have that there. This comes from that, so we're going to feed gravel into this, and then we bring it to concrete, right? And as long as we're feeding gravel into this, then we can make concrete with it. So maybe that's how we process the recycling. Maybe we recycle like that, and then I could make this road connect here, and then get rid of this road and put the processing plant here. That's an idea. I'll look at that later too. We'll have construction waste that way, actually, because we'll have to break down this road. But with that done, I should now be able to at least mark in where, if I can find it, cement plant. Yeah, I'm going to use the regular one. I don't think I need that big one. That's a lot, especially since I'm already like struggling for whether or not I can even make this or not. So we're going to place this, I guess, right about back here. Should be all right. And let's do it, yeah, about here. Looking at the walking path, really. That'll be fine. The walking path for this is going to be right there. Yeah. So we can get that back there. So if I make this a gravel road, which I've been, working on, and probably should do this before they start working it. We're not actually working this area yet, so this is the best time to make this a gravel road, so that people can move around. Yeah, I'm not sure this is important. As long as we have the walking path, then it'll work. In fact, that might be a cause for one of those asphalt walking paths, is to get that over there. Can you just go behind? No. So you would have to go in front. Not even in front. So you're going to have to come this way. Oh, I don't know. If you went like this, could you? Well, either way, I mean, we could make this asphalt, probably, just to give that a little bit of extra distance. Probably a good idea. And then this one can go asphalt to here, I guess. Yep. And then that extra distance, we need to translate that somehow into getting them over to here. So we can definitely do... Wow, over to there? That's cool. Can we get you to connect over like this? I'm going to make that happen, I think. Ooh. Ooh. No. It's just that's too tight. Hang on. Might have something here. I mean, it's weird, but it would work. And it's way faster than walking on the dirt, right? That's the idea. So we would want to bring this to be... I can't even... Oh, that's interesting. Can you do this? Yes, that's what I want. That's way less weird. And then we bring this over and connect it there. All right, that is our asphalt walking path, which guarantees people can get here for sure. They can definitely get in there now. So they'll go through this tunnel, which is nowhere near built, although they have started it, but it's nowhere near built. And once that tunnel is done, we can definitely process gravel a lot faster too. Okay? Okay. We're dropping steel. Still have a whole bunch left. We're not going to buy it yet. A lot of this stuff is done, and all the steel is delivered. It's just manpower at this point. Which brings me to this road, which is so close to being completed. So close to being completed. I should have done this a long time ago. This will definitely speed up construction for people. How are these? 69. They are 73. These things are going to start breaking down a lot. How did you get to be all these other projects? Bring your guys back. You have workers. You don't have any workers. Actually, that might be the bus right now. Well, you have workers now, don't you? Sure do. Is this it? The unfinished road? Beautiful. 40 workers on site. That'll speed things up. And then that road can be completed. All right. And hopefully that means all this stuff gets done faster too, because we're starting to get workers on this and jamming away at the coal. Okay? 1965. I'm a little slow, like I said. I didn't think it would be a big deal, but I really, really, really wanted people in 64. I think if I just I'm so far away from the border, and I shouldn't have done that. So that's my bad. If you're playing this game yourself, definitely don't start this far away from the border. I don't think there's a super serious risk of failure, but it's definitely non-zero. Like, I'm actually giving it a 50-50 at this point. I feel 50-50 about this, which is nervous because I'm normally more confident than that, but things just haven't gone my way. Not that I expected anyway. Look at all these dump trucks just doing nothing. I mean, if you're going to do nothing, then I might as well upgrade roads right here. Upgrade this one. And this one too. Let's upgrade the coal road. Why not? Bring people through like this. I'm all right with that. Here. Go ahead, guys. Go upgrade this coal road. You can do that, right? We'll get this stuff going. Get that stuff going. All this stuff. Like, deliver stuff, all right? All right, just get going, all right? Maybe I should just have everything as a project and just, you know, only high priority the stuff that I really want done, which I think is what most people do. But the thing is, I don't even want them to spend resources and wear and tear their vehicle on the things that I don't need yet, but I still need the plans in place. Like this statue, for example. I really don't need that statue right now. It's not important to me. This should be finished, though, so people can work it. And then, I don't even... They brought the steel to the dump. I guess there's that. But now it's just a waiting game. It really is. And as long as I've got the resources to do it, which I think I do, 300 tons of steel is what I have. How much do I have left from all the porting? 323 tons of steel. So this is already delivered. There's 5 tons to be delivered here, 6 tons to be delivered there. Another 5 tons is needed for this. This already has it on site. This needs 137 tons delivered, but it's already delivered 62. That's cool. And then this is all delivered. Another 10 tons here. Another 10 tons here. Really? 10 tons for that? That's gross. That's just gross. This is 10 and this is 30. I don't believe you. It's like 10 like the minimum or what? This is 45. The other one's 10? 10? Really? 15? Bullshit. That's what I say. These guys are ripping me off. All right, well, whatever. Gonna have to do that. 560 tons of coal coming in there. We're getting lots of good deliveries, and I'm just gonna keep the dump trucks busy and stuff as they make their way over to various different things. Let's have this road here done because you can. We'll keep them low priorities, right? But if they have nothing to do, then they should be doing this, right? That's how that works. This road's done now. That's good, but not this one. So complete that and that. Oh, and one last thing before we end this video. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but like certain things need done. Food processing. Food processing is one of those things that we don't need done right away. I can import it, but the longer I wait, oh man, is more expensive that's going to get, especially as I get a lot of people, right? So what I want to do real quick before I forget though, I want to put water on this one, and we're going to just bring, I think, water from the middle one here. We'll go middle and bring it up to, bring it like this, pump it to there. Come on now. There we go. Pump it to there. That's good. You need water pumped into you from here, so we'll just go one water this direction and pump it into there. I'm gonna round a little bit here because I know I need to give other sources of water eventually here too. So this is coming directly from the well, industrial water. This is coming directly, this is gonna come from the processing plant, which we have a pump here that I can distribute that to. So I can say medium from this pump and bring it all the way out and hook it to, you know, I actually don't want to do that. I want to put a I want a water tower out here. I think it's a good idea to have a water tower out here just for a little bit of, you know, redundancy. Just a little bit of a, yeah, just like a safety mechanism on this, because there's a lot of people working over here. So we're going to put the water tower here and then feed it into right there. I think that's a better way to go about it. And then obviously we need the walking path to be connected there too. All right, so that's going to give us drinking water out that way eventually. I would like, we have one more connection on this, and I would like to get this to be on a switch. I do have another pump right here that I can pump to, but I would really like to get it on a switch. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to put a pump right on top of this sucker. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do that. But I have to get it to both. So I need to pump it to this and to this in order to actually achieve that. So it's going to make me do another big pump. It's going to make me do it. I didn't want to, but I'll have to. So we're going to do another big pump, and it's going to have to be right here. And then what I'll do with this big pump, because we have to have that water pressure, man, is we can put in, I'm going to put an underground reservoir in over here too. I want one like right here. This is going to kind of hold additional water for additional population, right? And I think I'll place this. I think I just place it right here. I'm all right with that, I think. Yeah, right about here should be fine. Another reservoir. Right in the corner. And then this can just be a medium pipe that feeds into that reservoir from the middle. That's fine with me. All right, and then from here we want the big one, feeds into the big pump. Then we have the big, it's gonna turn around. Unfortunately, that's how that has to be built. And feeds into that one. And then this one is gonna go, the big pipe, to there, all right? So that's how that's gonna be played out, and that's gonna allow us to distribute water everywhere, okay? At least I don't have, I mean, I needed a switch, or I can have a big pump, and I guess I'm choosing the big pump instead. So that is how we're going to distribute water to more places as we expand, all right? So the final thing is food, right? We want food distribution. So here's how I think we're going to play this. It needs to be connected to the cargo train station, and it needs to be a separate warehouse from this. This has a specific case, a specific purpose. Food will be eventually pushed into a warehouse on this side. We also have meat storage here too. The meat storage has factory connections on these two sides. I'd like the road cargo depot to be connected to both of these warehouses. So here's how I think I have to play this. The normal standard warehouse holds 520, and it's not that heavy with steel. But the other warehouses are even less heavy with steel, all right? They're even cheaper for steel. And boy, oh boy, do I like cheap for steel. This one, for example, will hold twice what the other one does, and it's the same amount of steel. And it's also way bigger. And you know what? I mean, you know what they say. it's better, right? It's better. The bigger one's better. So I think we're gonna go with the bigger one here. A lot of concrete, not a lot of steel. I'm gonna play it off. We're gonna go about like this with it. All right. So this gives me a factory connection like so. All right. Big warehouse for food. We're gonna have stock up on all sorts of stuff for food. This means crops can also be stored in here as well. Over 1,000 tons of crops can fit in this as well. That's a very good thing. Food processing. We need that to be right here. This food factory. There's only one food factory, and it's going to be over here. It just needs one connection. And I'm thinking, you know, I kind of want grain and stuff to come in here too. I was going to use this connection for grain as well. So I think instead I'll have this can be processing right like here. Although if I get closer, I can't get here because then I'm blocking the tracks that I'll have later. And I kind of want the tracks to, honestly, I kind of want the tracks to go in front of this road. You know, like, in case you're not familiar with what I'm doing with these tracks, by the way, it's going like this. It's going like this, right? And I just don't know how close to this road I'm going to get with that. But, and then it goes like this, and then it heads that direction. Out towards the farms, right? Farm trains separate from other trains, right? We do this. We did it in the stream series. Worked beautifully, all right? So that's how I have to play that. So I'm thinking we go with the grain storage. This normal one's 800 tons. I don't think we need much more than that, but man, would it be nice to have much more than that. And, you know, we could even use one of these ones that have the rail integrated and place it over here. That would still be good. That way I could just have the rail flow through here. That's not bad. And then that hooks up to the food factories like that. I could cope with that. I think that's a decent strategy. I want to put this in temporarily as a way to do this, but I want to leave my options open with the other side too. So let's bring this food factory right up against this. Yeah, I want to leave my options open, I said, so I'm gonna have to do it kind of. Yeah. If I do it, actually, if I flip this and have the road on that side, that opens me up. That opens my options a lot. Actually, this is good. We'll take it like this with a food factory. It'll be a little angled, and it'll be kind of right up like up to here. I think this gives me adequate space, so I'll go one more over just to make sure I got that adequate space, and we're gonna go right. What if I want to hook up something else to this gigantic warehouse, though? You know, what if? Can I have it here but connect to the other side? To connect to this one. All right, it's fine. It's honestly, it's not that big of a deal, so whatever. Direct connection there, and then if I so choose later, when we do the grain connection, I can have this hooked up to the train and the. That's what it needs to be, the train and this. It won't do it. I know, this needs to be over. This needs to be like this. So I do need to move you over. Let's do this first. If this is going to be a somewhat requirement that I want to have as available to me later, then I need to have this be like this. So let's go like that. As something that's there. Then we'll drop the food in such a way that it lets me do both. It's going to have to be kind of like this then, isn't it? Like this. And then your factory connection would then go like that. I mean, this is open, so I guess it's okay. And then we have the ability to do forklifts through here with possibly 2 of these grain storages lined up together. If that was the case, I would want to not have this walking path. And then the train track would have to go around, which is the current dilemma, isn't it? It's whether the train track can actually get where it needs to go. And I'm going to say it probably can't. It's just this. It's this outside one here. It's this one here that needs to do it. This one goes that way. This one goes that way. So can you go straight this way? Yes, and connect to that. That's cool. Can you go like that? Excellent. And, you know, that's going to work. It's not super clean yet, but it will work. So I can confirm that at least. If I go right up against this, make this as clean as possible. Well, I'll fiddle with it offline. This video is long enough for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Now you at least know what the plans are for food production up here. Grain, lots of crops. Probably going to use forklifts in this area. Maybe have even a bigger grain storage over here. Possibly. Forklifts can move it around, and we'll go from there, all right? Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.